Objective 6 lists 3 unique structural adaptations found in vascular plants and describe their function. Well, our vascular plants are called lycophytes, and these are the ones we're most familiar with because we find them everywhere. And they're going to have these vascular tissues to transport water and minerals up from the roots, and that's called xylem, and to transport the sucrose and other organic compounds that the leaves make in photosynthesis down the stem to the roots. The other thing that they're going to have is the lignin. That's going to strengthen the cell walls of those conducting cells in the xylem so that those cell walls become very strong and it can carry the water up from the roots. Now, most of our seedless plants, seedless vascular plants, are homosporous, and they use wind to disperse the spores. The seed plants are heterosporous, and you're going to have male and female gametophytes on most of your seed plants, or on all of your seed plants. But your seedless vascular plants, you're going to find the male and female on both, on one plant. Now, the megaphylls, that's the first one we're going to look at. The megaphylls are the big, broad leaves, and their leaves are called fronds, and they're divided into leaflets. And they have a dominant sporophyte generation, and it produces these spores which the wind disperses. This is the life cycle of the fern that is shown on page 102. If you'll follow, of course, we've got the gametophyte down here at the bottom in the beige and the sporophyte up at the top in the blue. The plant that we're familiar with, the fern, when we look at it, we're looking at the sporophyte. But up underneath the leaves, they've got these sporangia that produce this sporangium, or these that makes the spores. And the spores will germinate on the leaf called the prothallus, on the bottom side of that leaf. And so you're going to have the archegonium, the female gametotangium, is going to be up here in this little dip. And down between the rhizomes, you're going to see the antheridium. And so they're going to combine at fertilization and produce the zygote, which is that first cell of the sporophyte generation. Now, lots of uses for ferns. First of all, you don't go to any program, assembly, graduation that you don't see ferns. We use them for decoration. There's one fern in North America that is eaten. It's the ostrich fern. Where rice is grown, they'll put azolla, which is a type of fern, and it has these nitrogen-fixing bacteria on the roots in these little nodules, and it will make the nitrogen in the atmosphere, which is a gas, into a usable form for the rice plant, and it fertilizes the rice plants. In China, they use ferns in a lot of medicines. That's how they stop bleeding in childbirth. They use it for boils, for ulcers, and to treat dysentery. And it also they also inhibit molting. So they can use some of the extracts from ferns to kill insects because they can't grow and they'll die instead of molt and grow and keep doing what they do.